There are places on Earth so secret, so dangerous, or so protected that no one is allowed to step foot on them. From islands where outsiders are killed on sight, to lands hidden by governments, and locations where nature itself forbids human survival, these places are truly off-limits. What makes them so mysterious? Why are they kept hidden from the world? And what terrifying truths lie within their boundaries? Today, we uncover the real stories behind the 5 most forbidden places on Earth that remain out of reach for ordinary people like us. Dare to explore more forbidden mysteries? Subscribe now, and together let's reach 10 likes, 10 shares, and 10 comments. 1. Area 51, Nevada, USA. In the middle of the Nevada desert, there is a place that most people will never see. It is called Area 51, and for decades it has been one of the most secret and forbidden places on Earth. To outsiders, it is just a patch of dry land surrounded by fences and warning signs. But for the people who once worked inside, it was a world filled with both pride and fear. The story of Area 51 began in the 1900s during the Cold War. At that time, the United States needed a hidden place to test powerful aircraft that could fly higher and faster than anything before. The desert near Groom Lake was chosen because its wide, flat ground could serve as a natural runway, and its remote location kept away curious eyes. From the first day, secrecy was the rule. Workers were flown in on unmarked planes, and even their families did not know what they were doing. Inside the base, the atmosphere was intense. Engineers designed planes that could fly at the edge of space, and test pilots risked their lives flying them. Some days brought great excitement, like the first successful flights of the U-2 spy plane or the SR-71 Blackbird. Other days brought tragedy, when experimental flights ended in accidents. Every man who strapped into the cockpit knew he was facing real danger. Those moments of loss left deep scars on the small community of workers, reminding them that progress always had a human cost. For people outside the fences, the lack of information created endless curiosity. Bright lights and strange shapes in the night sky were often the new aircraft being tested, but without official answers, locals believed they were seeing UFOs. Over time, Area 51 became linked with stories of aliens and secret experiments. These myths grew so popular that they almost became bigger than the real history. In reality, the mystery was less about extraterrestrials and more about the race for technology and power during the Cold War. Today, the site remains closed to the public. Signs warn that entering is illegal, and security patrols the borders day and night. Even the airspace above Area 51 is restricted, which means no commercial flight can pass over it. To many, these rules add to the sense of danger and mystery. But the real reason is simple. The base is still used for testing advanced technology that must remain secret for national security. The story of Area 51 is not just about secrets. It is about human effort under pressure. It is about men and women who worked in silence, keeping their emotions hidden while carrying the weight of national defense. For the outside world, it became a symbol of mystery. For those inside, it was long days, risky missions, and quiet sacrifices. The true value of this forbidden place is not only in the myths that surround it, but in the lessons it teaches. Progress demands secrecy, courage requires risk, and even the most mysterious places on Earth are shaped by real human hands and real human feelings. 2. North Sentinel Island, Andaman, India. Far out in the Bay of Bengal lies a small island, green and untouched. It is called North Sentinel Island, and it is one of the most forbidden places on Earth. To most people, it looks like a paradise: clear waters, thick forests, and quiet beaches. But behind that beauty lives a tribe that has rejected the outside world for thousands of years. The Sentinelese people are believed to be one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. They have lived on the island for more than 60,000 years, cut off from the rest of the world. Their lives have followed the same rhythm for generations, hunting, fishing, and building simple huts from the forest around them. For them, outsiders are not friends, but a threat. The story of this island is filled with human feelings, fear, survival, and protection. Whenever strangers tried to step close, the Sentinelese reacted with anger. They fired arrows, shouted, and made it clear, "Stay away." To them, every visitor was a danger to their land, their people, and their way of life. This was not just hostility, it was survival. Even a small outside disease, like a flu or cold, could destroy their community because their bodies have no defense against modern illnesses. There are true moments of tension that show how serious this danger is. In 2006, two fishermen who drifted too close to the island lost their lives after being attacked by the tribe. In 2018, an American missionary tried to enter secretly, hoping to make contact. He too was killed. These events shocked the world, but they also reminded everyone why the Indian government has made strict laws no outsider is allowed within 5 kilometers of the island. To many, this rule may seem harsh, but it exists for good reason. For the Sentinelese, isolation is not just tradition, it is protection. Their survival depends on keeping the outside world away. For us, it may be curiosity. For them, it is life and death. Standing on a boat at a safe distance, visitors can see the tree line and the empty beach, but they cannot step closer. In those moments, a strange mix of feelings rises: curiosity about a hidden culture, and respect for a people who refuse to be changed by time. The real story of North Sentinel Island teaches us a valuable truth. Not every place on Earth is meant for us to enter. Some lands are guarded, not by fences or walls, but by human will. The Sentinelese tribe shows us that even in the modern world, there are communities that choose their own way, their own freedom, and their own survival. This is why North Sentinel Island remains forbidden. It is not only an island hidden in the sea, but also a reminder that some mysteries are not meant to be solved, and some stories are best left in peace. 3. Snake Island, Ilha da Queimada Grande, Brazil. Off the coast of Brazil lies a small island that looks peaceful from far away. The locals call it Ilha da Queimada Grande, but the world knows it as Snake Island. Covered with green forest and surrounded by blue ocean, it might seem like the perfect paradise. But beneath those trees hides a secret so deadly that no one is allowed to live there. Snake Island is home to thousands of highly venomous snakes, most famously the golden lancehead pit viper. Scientists say this species exists almost nowhere else on Earth. Over centuries, cut off from the mainland, these snakes evolved to become even more dangerous. Their venom is said to be strong enough to melt human flesh, and a single bite can kill within hours. For the people of Brazil, this island is not just forbidden, it is feared. The story carries deep human feelings of fear, respect, and survival. Local fishermen whisper that if their boats drift too close, bad luck will follow. Some even tell chilling tales of people who once tried to step on the island but never returned. These stories, whether fact or folklore, add to the island's terrifying reputation. There are true spikes in its history. One of the most repeated accounts is about a lighthouse keeper who once lived there with his family. According to local reports, snakes found their way inside the house, and none of them survived. After this tragedy, the lighthouse was abandoned forever. Whether all details are accurate or not, the fear it created was so powerful that the government decided no one should live there again. Today, Snake Island is completely off limits to the public. The Brazilian Navy strictly controls the waters around it. Only carefully selected scientists are sometimes allowed, and even then, they enter with full protection and extreme caution. For ordinary people, stepping on the island is not just illegal, it is almost certain death. Standing on a safe boat, one can look at the island and feel a strange mix of emotions: curiosity to see what lies inside, and relief to stay away. The quiet trees and rocky cliffs hide a world that is beautiful and deadly at the same time. It is nature's reminder that not every paradise is safe. The true value of Snake Island's story is that it teaches respect for the natural world. Human beings often believe every place on Earth belongs to them, But here is an island ruled by snakes, where humans cannot survive. It shows that sometimes the Earth protects itself in unexpected ways, creating a space where man is not welcome. This is why Snake Island remains one of the most forbidden places on Earth. It is not surrounded by walls or guards, but by nature itself, a deadly barrier of venom and survival that keeps people away. 4. Poveglia Island, Italy. Just a short distance from Venice, there is a small island that tourists cannot visit. It is called Poveglia Island, and for centuries it has carried a reputation so dark that even the locals avoid talking about it. From far away, the island looks quiet, with crumbling buildings and overgrown trees. But behind that silence lies one of the most disturbing histories in Europe. The story of Poveglia begins hundreds of years ago. During the time of the plague, when Venice was struck by deadly disease, officials sent the sick and dying to this isolated island.
They were left there to suffer their last days away from the city. It is said that thousands of people never returned. For many, Poveglia became a place of fear, a symbol of death that haunted the memory of survivors. Later, in the 18th and 19th centuries, the island was used again, this time as a quarantine station. Any ship entering Venice suspected of carrying disease was forced to stop at Poveglia. Travelers, sailors, and even merchants had to stay under watch until doctors decided they were safe. To those trapped on the island, it felt like a prison. To outsiders, it became a forbidden land, filled with illness and sorrow. But the darkest chapter came in the early 20th century, when an asylum for the mentally ill was built on Poveglia. Patients already suffering from pain and confusion were hidden away inside its walls. Some records suggest they were treated poorly, while others whisper of cruel experiments performed by doctors. There is a story of one doctor who lost his sanity and later died under mysterious circumstances. True or not, these tales added even more fear to the island's name. After the asylum closed in the mid-20th century, Poveglia was abandoned. Today its buildings stand in ruins, empty halls, broken staircases, and collapsing walls covered in vines. The Italian government has banned visitors, declaring it unsafe. Yet for many locals, the ban is not only about safety. They believe the island carries too much sorrow, too much darkness, to ever be peaceful again. Standing on a boat nearby, one can see the island's outline against the water. It looks calm, but the knowledge of its past creates a heavy feeling, a mix of sadness, fear, and respect. This is the true spike of Poveglia's story. It reminds us how human history can turn a simple place into a symbol of suffering. The valuable lesson from Poveglia is clear. Places carry memories, and some memories are too painful to be forgotten. While myths of ghosts and spirits surround the island, the reality is just as haunting. Thousands of lives lost, countless families broken, and an island that became a silent witness to centuries of tragedy. This is why Poveglia remains forbidden, not because of fantasy, but because its real history is darker than any story. 5. Surtsey Island, Iceland. In the cold waters of the North Atlantic, off the southern coast of Iceland, a strange event happened in November 1963. From the deep ocean floor, a volcanic eruption began. Smoke, fire, and ash rose high into the sky, and over the course of just a few days, a brand new island was born. It was named Surtsey, after Surtur, a fire giant from Norse mythology. At first, the eruption terrified local fishermen and nearby villagers. Imagine watching the sea boil and flames burst from the water. For those who saw it, the scene was both frightening and unforgettable, a reminder of how powerful and unpredictable nature can be. But when the eruption ended, it left behind something extraordinary, a fresh island where no human had ever stepped before. Scientists quickly realized Surtsey was more than just new land. It was a living laboratory, a rare chance to watch life begin from zero. No trees, no animals, no people, just raw rock and ash. Over the years, seeds carried by the wind and ocean waves started to take root. Birds arrived, bringing more seeds with them. Slowly, the island turned green. Each new plant, insect, or bird that settled there told a story of how nature builds an ecosystem from nothing. This became the island's true value. Researchers from around the world wanted to study it, but they also knew that even a single careless step by humans could ruin the natural process. To protect it, Iceland made Surtsey strictly forbidden to the public. Only a small number of scientists, under special permission, are allowed to set foot there. Even then, they follow strict rules: no dropping food, no leaving waste, not even carrying seeds on their clothing. Every visit is carefully controlled so the island remains untouched. For ordinary people, this ban feels frustrating. From a boat or a plane, Surtsey looks beautiful, with black volcanic rock and patches of green against the blue sea, but stepping onto it is impossible. The island is not forbidden because of danger, but because of preservation. Humans are kept away not for their safety, but for the safety of the island itself. The spike of Surtsey's story lies in its unique timeline. Within a single lifetime, people saw an island rise from fire, then slowly come alive with plants and birds. It is like watching Earth's history in fast motion. Few places on Earth give such a rare window into creation. The valuable lesson from Surtsey is clear. Not all forbidden places hide darkness, some hide knowledge. Protecting Surtsey means protecting one of nature's greatest experiments. It reminds us that sometimes the best way to learn is not by touching, but by observing with respect. This is why Surtsey Island remains one of the most forbidden places on Earth, not because humans cannot survive there, but because nature deserves its chance to grow without us.